is Ali coming at you live from LOTT Studios, all right? We here with our first episode of Hear Me Out, so just hear me out. I got a few topics for you all. We got Brandon calling in from LOTT Sports Detroit, and then we're going to talk about, what's going on in college football, pros, and, a lot of different topics, so just stick with us. First thing we got to talk about this college sports thing. More specifically, I guess I want to talk about football and basketball just because, they are the billion-dollar I don't want to call them businesses since they are technically, non-profit organizations. But, I see a lot of coaches out there making profits. I'm talking M's, you know what I mean? And then you got these players who coming in on these tens of $1,000 scholarships, but it's money that they never see. Just imagine if they are, one of the people who graduates and never get to work in their field. So it's kind of like they went to school and, put their bodies on the line for nothing. And I feel like, if that's the case, these students need to be compensated, I'm talking dollars and cents. And even if that money doesn't come until after they graduate or until after they, get out of school, I feel like some type of way we need to figure out a system for these college students to get paid. And this is my solution to this problem. I feel like every student who plays football and basketball, I'm going to start there because, like I said, they make the biggest money. So right now, that's the biggest problem. So we start with the football players, the basketball players, and what we do is we figure out some type of percentage, all right? A percentage to the NCAA that they keep, a percentage to the schools that they keep, and then you keep a little percentage for the students. And that little percentage there that goes to the students, if we talking three different components, hey, it might as well be 33%, a third. So, you got these students going to school, like I said, when they get out of school, whatever money that was accumulated while they was in school that was put on reserve for them, give it to them when they get out of school. Give it to them when they get that degree. Give it to them when they no longer enrolled. That way it's like everybody benefits. They get compensated. It may be a delayed compensation, but they at least getting, what they deserve. And they at least, will feel like they're not being taken advantage of because everybody doesn't go pro. Some people got to get out there and get regular jobs. Like I said, everybody doesn't finish school. So what about those students? And, they're slipping through the cracks. Somebody who also needs to do better are my Detroit Lions. Our situation is a lot different than most people in the NFL. I feel like, with the Lions, we choose to either play quarters 1 through 3 or the fourth quarter. As soon as we figure out a way to string all 4 quarters together, my prediction is going to come true. I think the Detroit Lions is going to win 2 out of the next 5 Super Bowls. Okay, so I hear a lot of people blaming every problem in the world on the millennials. Oh yeah, the younger millennials. They not millennials, okay? Let's talk about the real millennials, okay? Those of us who were born in a era to know better, like the ones who came out in the 80s with me, 87, what's up? Those who came out in the 80s with me, we know better. We saw the world before this technology, so we shouldn't be caught up in the world with likes. We got to figure out a way, how can we make this world a better place for the people who coming behind us? And then we're going to be all old and decrepit, and we're going to be wondering why the world is the way it is. It's because when we right now young and smooth skin with few wrinkles, we ain't doing nothing. So if you don't want to live in a world that you got to wonder about how did they get this way while we young, while we still got our lineups and a little hair on our head and, a little regular belly, we need to make it happen. Especially the fellas, all right? Especially the fellas. And I'm going to bring Brandon in on a lot of this stuff. A lot of stuff I'm talking about, I'm going to bring him in, and he's going to be able to tell you a lot of these things from his perspective. And we're going to be able to see if he's tripping, if I'm tripping, if we both tripping, or if y'all tripping. And we didn't talk about none of this beforehand. So whatever he says is going to be raw and unfiltered. And it just kind of brings me, I guess, to the next topic, which is about these women. If you look around the world and the climate, especially our culture, women are becoming the new men. A lot of these problems is going on because of us men. We're not stepping up and doing what we need to do. So if you think about these women, a lot of these women are going through these, I don't want to call it a phase because I'm not a woman. I don't know what they're going through. This may be a transition. But they're going through this situation where men aren't committed. And if you're a person like me where you're going after your dreams, it's really important to find a woman who's going to understand what you're going through because a lot of women won't. A lot of women won't understand that I have to put in a lot of work in order to catch what I want. I have to put in a lot of work so that my kids don't have to put in a lot of work. I want to make their workload lighter by putting in my work today. Like I said, while I still got my lineup, while I'm still a little young, while my skin is smooth, while I don't have that many wrinkles. We got to do that stuff now. So when our kids come out, it will be less for them to do. But pretty much what I'm saying is that we got these women out here and they're living like men. You know what I mean? They're having these lifestyles like what men have. And with us, the thing with us is that we usually chill out when we get older. So when we at the stage of our lives where I am, in our 30s, late 20s, early 30s, we're at a stage where we're trying to build for our future. And what's going on in the world is that we did so much damage before in our previous years, by the time this time comes up, they don't really care about what we doing because they all having their fun. So men, we really got to step up. We really got to protect our women, and we got to make sure that these women know that we love them. All right, so that's all you're going to hear from me. We're about to wrap it up and go ahead and get started with these calls. I got Brandon calling in from Detroit. He's going to talk a little bit about Zeke and a little bit about some other things going on. Like what's in this box? It's the end of the episode. They gave us our new ID tags for the year, and then I got a little package today. We just finished our third book, fourth project. All right, stay tuned, stay with us, come back, see you later. We coming right back. Peace. We might as well just get straight into it, man. There's a lot of people talking about Zeke. He finally got his money. And AB, the whole AB fiasco going on. What do you think about those two topics?
I'll talk a little bit about Zeke. I think he's a great running back. He's a great one of the best running backs in the NFL right now. Definitely top 3. But let's see how holding out almost the entire offseason helps his conditioning. And I'm sure he was conditioning. I'm sure he was doing a lot of stuff on the side, but he wasn't with the team. And, of course, the team was still like, we applaud you, get your money and all of that stuff. But I wonder when it comes down to the real meat of their schedule, when they're in game 10 and 11, how is that going to affect them? Mm-hmm. So I see him still having a big year. As long as he's healthy, he's still going to have a big year. Because as Zeke, he's a good running back. With Antonio, man, that's a wide receiver diva. He's a diva, man. He's not like your Jerry Rice's or your Calvin Johnson's. He's not like those guys.
And the reason that I was asking was because, a lot of times, a lot of people talk about, issues with the world or, issues in their life or just, problems, period, but they never really offer a fix. So what I'm saying is for him to do all the stuff that he did and make the big scene that he made, it shows that he cares. Do you think people like in the world, more specifically our generation, like the people born, I would say in the 80s, do you think people still care enough to make a big splash like that about stuff that they really care about?
I think there are a select few, but I don't think that there are enough people that really, really want to make a difference, right? There are that as WB boys would say, right? There's that 10%, right? You got that piece, but everybody else wants to follow the trends of today, right? And following the trends of today, believe it or not, is not our generation, or it could be our generation, but it's not our time period. So we have to buck the trend, so to speak. Right, and in bucking the trend, people don't want to look like they're different than the rest. So they're going to follow those trends. So then people are like, well, I shouldn't care that much because if I do, then nobody's going to follow me. But you never know until you take that step. You gotta get comfortable with being uncomfortable sometimes, and I don't think enough of us do that.
So I got a kind of another question, I guess, with that part. It's still talking about the same things, but it's more so dealing, like I said, with those 1980s babies. Since the people born in the 80s, we kind of saw, I guess, world before the big technology boom. Do you think we have like a responsibility? Like, and I say this because a lot of times with the culture, older people or the pioneers, they don't really get the respect that they're due. And people born in the 80s, we still fairly young. So what I'm saying is, do you think it's on us to like do anything about it, or should we just sit back and let the youngins do their thing?
If it's not us, then who is it gonna be? We can't wait for the generation after us, who's a big technology generation, to do it. It's got to be us, because we got our people that are older than us. They're not looking to us to do it. We need to be the ones doing the education, the educating, right? Even though we're fairly young, You got to think the people that they're talking about are our generation that's supposedly fairly young. Think about the generation before us. Most of them were fairly young when they started doing everything, and even younger than we are today.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like think about the Martin Luther Kings or the Malcolm X's of the world, or even people that we know and love today still, like our Biggie Smalls and our Tupac Shakurs. Those people, Pac died at 25. He was 25 years old.
Yeah.
Right? And he had been talking about fighting for what he believed in. Of course, his mother was a great influence, Afeni Shakur, but he's been talking about fighting for what he believed in since he was like 17.
Yeah, that's real.
You don't see that. Nobody in that age, nobody in their 20s. You don't see anybody doing that anymore. And because we don't see that, and now those people that were in their 17s and their 20s are now us in our 30s. Then what? Now we're trying to look at our generation below us to do it.
True that. Well, man, last topic, man. I'm gonna let you get out of here, man. I know you're busy, man. You got things to do, so I just want to get your idea on why we're talking about, I guess, social change in a way. These women, man. I feel like we kind of let them down, you know. I guess with our lack of wanting to commit, you know, and I feel like what's going on nowadays is this is just my personal opinion. I feel like it's some type of revenge. Oh, you think you the only one who could do that? Well, we could do it too. But at the same time, I feel like with men, we kind of relax when we get older. So I guess what I'm saying is, how do you feel about women kind of taking their power into their own hands and kind of forgetting about what people think about them?
Well, you have to think, right? For the longest of times, society has told women that they can't do something forever, right? Period. Women have always been told that they were lesser than us, beneath us, right? So you've been told this for so long. How long or how much longer are you going to sit there and take it? Like the world is now changing, right? We have our you see in LinkedIn and in the paper a lot where they talk about the first woman CEO to do this, the first woman CEO to do that. Right? So we have a lot of this things now where the world is changing, so women are taking advantage of the fact that they have something to hold on to now. And that something to hold on to now is the fact that stuff is changing. So I really, really believe that they're saying forget everything, probably because women want and need somebody to lead them, but the correct way, right? And leading them doesn't mean putting them down and them being lesser than us, right? But it's in a man's natural state to lead. But if we don't have enough men that are leaders, then the women say what? Oh, I guess I got to do it myself. I got to do stuff myself. We have no leaders. So, or we do have leaders. We don't have enough people that are trying to be a leader. They want to, be in the background and be followers. And no woman wants a lead man.
Yeah, that's true.